everyone, welcome to Adventures in Everyday Cooking, where every day can be an adventure in your kitchen. My name is Heather, and today we're going on an adventure to San Francisco. Now, in San Francisco, there is a dish that is very Bay Area forward, and that is called garlic noodles. If you have ever been to the Bay Area, you have no doubt had someone's version of garlic noodles because they're served in Italian restaurants, Vietnamese restaurants, Mexican restaurants, you name it. Garlic noodles can be found everywhere. And while I was researching this during the height of the pandemic, garlic noodles was the #1 takeout dish. So where did garlic noodles come from? Apparently, a wealthy Vietnamese traveler came through San Francisco and she bought up a little Italian deli. Her name was Diane On. And from that moment, she moved her family over from Vietnam, fearing a war. And somewhere along the line, her daughter-in-law created this garlic noodle recipe. Now, this recipe is so closely guarded that they have a special kitchen inside their restaurant that only family members can go inside of. So this recipe is under lock and key, but there are a lot of people who do copycat recipes, and so this is one of those. Now, we're gonna make our pasta from scratch because I'm quite certain that Tongue Long also does their pasta by hand. So if you're ready for this adventure, this is gonna be a quick one and it's gonna be amazing. Let's go. So if you're gonna make this with me, what you're gonna need for the fresh pasta dough is 3 large eggs, 2 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Alternately, you can just use packaged pasta. It's fine, but it's not gonna taste as good. For the secret sauce, here's what you're gonna need. 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 4 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce, 4 teaspoons of fish sauce, half a teaspoon of sesame oil, and 2 pinches of cayenne pepper. You're also going to need half of a cup of butter, 16 cloves of minced garlic, half of a cup of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, 2 tablespoons of chopped green onions, and a couple pinches of red pepper flakes. All right, the hardest part of this recipe is the pasta, and it is not hard if you have a stand mixer. So into the bowl of your stand mixer, you are going to put all of your flour and your salt. And we are going to bring it up and just get it mixing for a moment. All right, and then once it's mixed in, we're gonna add our tablespoon of oil and our eggs. And we're gonna try to put them right in the middle. Okay, now I'm gonna let this mix like this for like a minute or so until it mixes those eggs up. And then I am going to turn it up to about medium, and I'm gonna use my spatula here to kind of push the flour down into the egg mixture. And then once most of the flour is down, I'll go ahead and turn it up, and we're gonna let it knead for 10 minutes. So now I'm just gonna push it down. Now, if you were authentic Italian, you could probably make this by hand, but I am a lazy everyday cook. I love to utilize all of the appliances I have in my kitchen, so it makes my life easier and the food is still as delicious. So it's not authentic, it's still dang delicious. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it up to medium. And again, I'm just gonna watch it and I'm gonna push that flour down. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it up a little bit more. All right, and once all the flour is incorporated, set a timer for about 10 minutes. And we'll come back and it's gonna be a nice, smooth, supple little ball. Okay, our time is up. So let's go ahead and get this dough out and onto the counter and rolled into a ball. Woohoo, look how yellow that is. I used my friend's eggs in this pasta, and that is a seriously yellow set of yolks. Okay, so it's a little bit sticky. That might be too sticky for my liking. Let me find my little bit of flour. Just gonna dust it just a little bit. Oh yeah, that's much better. So that took like a teeny tiny, not even 1/8 of a teaspoon of flour, and now it feels much, much, much better. So now that we have it in a nice ball, go ahead and grab yourself a piece of plastic wrap, and now we are gonna wait. We're gonna let this rest. We just beat the heck out of it, and now it needs some time to think about its life choices and become noodles. So we're gonna leave this on the counter for 30 minutes. We're not gonna get rid of this yet because we're gonna make pasta with this machine. I know I just made pasta with this machine recently, but now I'm on a pasta kick. So we're gonna make it again. And the sauce comes together so quickly that this really, I mean, like if you're using jarred pasta, just skip forward to when I'm doing the sauce, but you shouldn't because this is fun. All right, we'll be back in 30. All right, I have just put a pot of water on to boil. These homemade noodles will only take about 60 to 90 seconds to come to completely cooked. So I am going to install my little KitchenAid roller. I'm gonna turn it to 1. And I have my flour nearby and my noodle cutter as well. And it's time for us to get our pasta out and rolled. So we're just gonna work with 1/4 of this at a time, and it is gonna be a little sticky, so make sure that you use plenty of flour when you do it. And I will just cover this rest of this off to the side. Okay, so I'm gonna take some flour, I'm gonna put it on my mat, and we're just gonna flatten this out, and then we're gonna get it started. So we're gonna feed it through on number 1 first, a little faster than that. And then I'm gonna fold it in on itself a couple times just to ensure that it's all nice and mixed together, right? And once I think that that's probably good enough, we just feed it through maybe twice total. I guess that makes 3, huh? And then I'm gonna increase the dial 1 and then feed it through until I get to number 4. I like the toothiness of number 4, and once in a while I'll drop it on the counter to get a little bit more flour. So I'm just gonna go to number 4. So I'll feed it through twice, and then I'll move it to the number 3, and now the number 4. All right, that's perfect, and I'll just lay it right on down. I'll sprinkle a little on just so it doesn't stick to its brother in just a second. And now we just do the same thing until all of our pasta sheets are done. Making pasta is so much fun because it feels like this should be something that's really hard to do, and it's really not. It just takes a little patience. And even not even a really lot of patience. You just have to kind of start to get to know your dough and then go from there. But literally, there is nothing better than homemade pasta. And it cooks in 90 seconds. And yes, I had to make it 30 minutes before. And yes, I get a little bit dirty when I make it now. But it's worth every second you spend on it. And it's not even that hard. Make sure it's floured well. Okay. We'll turn this off. We are gonna exchange this out. I'm gonna tap this a couple times on my counter just to get any extra out. My water is almost boiling, so we'll install the pasta cutter now. All right, and tighten it down. And then we're just gonna leave it on about medium. And we are gonna feed this pasta through and get beautiful spaghetti. Oh, that one was a little wet. So at the bottom here, if this happens to you, this means that my thing didn't have enough flour in there, and it's fine. They'll probably cook fine, but I'm gonna go ahead and trim them off just for this. And I'll just use that for something else later. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip it right into my bowl of flour and set it off to the side. We will go for pasta sheets number 2. Oh, it kind of got gummed up again. I wonder if there's something in my rollers. Still works, just stuck together just a little bit. I'll just pull them apart. All right, there we go. Our pasta is done. So I'm going to take this part over here so I don't accidentally put it in. So now this is only gonna take 90 seconds to cook. So before I put this into the water, and it's gonna double in size. So all of this pasta will make double the amount of pasta that you see here. All right, let's do our sauce. And the secret sauce is the soy sauce, the oyster sauce, the Worcestershire sauce, the sesame oil, and our cayenne pepper, and the fish sauce. All right, so we're gonna put that all in a bowl. We're gonna give that a good mix, and then we're gonna set that off to the side because that is at the end. I forgot the cayenne pepper. We need to remember that. So let's do 2 dashes. And I'm gonna bring a bowl over because we're definitely gonna wanna toss our noodles. Okay, so the sauce is gonna come together real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and start this melting on medium high. And while that's melting, we are gonna go ahead and get our noodles in. So I'm just gonna put them in very carefully into the pot a little bit at a time so they don't stick together. Give them a quick stir and set a timer for 90 seconds. Okay, and in that 1 minute and 90 seconds, we are going to melt the butter, and then we are going to cook the garlic for just 30 seconds. All right, once that butter's melted, here we go. We're already almost done. We're 30 seconds to done. Boom. In. Okay, we're gonna stir fry that. We're gonna let it cook for 30 seconds. While it's cooking, let's see if I can get rid of this mat. Oh my, that smells so good. Okay, 30 seconds is up. So we're gonna turn it off, get it off the heat. And then we are going to add the special sauce in and give it a good mix. That's it. Now let's get the noodles out. All right, there are our beautiful, beautiful noodles. All right, and we are going to transfer our noodles into the sauce, taking a little bit of our cooking liquid with us. So I didn't drain it completely. It said that if your noodles looked a little bit too dry, add a little bit more cooking liquid. If they look too wet, well, you're out of luck. But look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can't wait. Now, traditionally in San Francisco, you would have this in a bougie restaurant with Dungeness crab. I do not have the budget for Dungeness crab, but I certainly have the budget for these garlic noodles. Okay, let's dress these up and get them served. Okay, the next step that we're gonna do, I forgot. We have to add in our Parmesan. So we are going to add all the Parmesan, which was half of a cup, which I guess I should tell you where I got the recipe from. Hold on. Chef John, of course. Of course it's Chef John. Of course it's Chef John. Do you know Chef John? Chef John is amazing. I don't think I've ever had a recipe from Chef John that I haven't liked. All right, out comes our plate. And here we go. We are going to just serve these right on a nice platter. They smell absolutely fantastic. I feel like there's barely enough noodles here for 2 people. You definitely would want a protein or something to go with it, but I ain't judging anyone here tonight. Now we are going to garnish with green onions and a little bit of red pepper flakes. And you guys, garlic noodles are done. Oh my goodness, you guys, these look fantastic. I cannot wait to dig in. It has been a hot minute since I had real garlic noodles, so I'm sure this is just gonna be a treat all in all because I grew up in the Bay Area, and so I've had them several times, but never with Dungeness crab. All right, let's taste it up and see what we think. Smells fantastic. Oh my goodness. Get some green onion on there. Oh my gosh. Well, there's a reason that this was the #1 takeout dish of the pandemic. Wow. Oh my, what is going on? There is so much umami going on right now. I can see why Dungeness crab would be really good in this. I feel a little bit like it's a little over salted. Maybe a lower salt soy sauce or something might have been more ideal, but I think this is dang close. That's fantastic. Oh yeah, thank you Diane On for bringing your family to the Bay Area and for bringing us garlic noodles. Oh my goodness. There's no, even though there was that cayenne in there and there's the hot pepper flakes, there's not really a lot of hotness in it, But all of those umami flavors and that little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, everything plays together so, so very well. And of course, having fresh pasta makes all the difference as well. I think that my next potluck, I am gonna make these noodles. I'm gonna make the noodles maybe a little drier, more dry than they were. But I'm gonna make these garlic noodles. And I bet you anything, people are gonna be like, what the heck? What are these? I want these forever. It's another level good. The amount of garlic, the spices, the umami, that's all I can say. It's just this, and the umami is that real savory that hits you all around the back of your tongue. Oh my gosh. The salty, the sweet. I do feel like it could use even a little bit more hot, which is saying something, because if you know me, you know that I am not a spicy individual, but this could use a little bit more something spice. So sprinkle on that spice and enjoy these garlic noodles. All right, you guys. Well, if you enjoyed that video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. I do videos several times a week, and I'm always looking for the next adventure. I am kind of jumping around, trying to find regional cuisines like San Francisco, dishes from those regions that are specifically that area or likened to that area. So if you want to see me do a dish from your area, leave me a comment and I will consider it. Otherwise, you guys, I'll see you on the next adventure. Bye. I want to take this whole thing, but I have to share.